Um, so I start.
Okay.
Good. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carla, and I am part of the communications team at the ACI Lab, Airports Council International Latin America and the Caribbean. We would like to welcome you all to the press conference, and I won't take too long because we have few time. So I will introduce our presenters today. Ralph Petier, CEO from Miami-Dade Aviation Department. Ezequiel Barrenechea, President of the Board and of Directors of ACI Lag, and President of TAXA. Rafael Echevarria, General Director of ACI Lag, and Luis Felipe de Oliveira, General Director of ACI World. If you have any questions, please, when the presentation ends, please let us know. And thank you. I present Ralph Petier to start the press conference.
Well, good morning. Good morning. We're very honored to host this prestigious event again for the first time since 2018, and to follow in the steps of Cancun in 2021 and Buenos Aires last year as the host cities post-pandemic of the ACI Lag General Assembly. Our team has worked tirelessly with the ACI Lag planning team to make this year's conference even more exciting than last year, with industry-leading speakers to discuss the latest trends. I also want to thank all of you for your partnership. We share as sister airports in the LAC region. Thanks largely to the LAC region having the strongest rebound in the world since the pandemic. MIA has been the fastest growing airport for the last 3 years in airline seat capacity since 2019, and that's something that we're very excited about. MIA's route network currently includes passenger service to 75 cities and cargo service to 80 cities in the Latin American region. Another piece of news that we're very excited about. We set a new record last year with nearly 51 million passengers at MIA, an increase of 10% over our previous record in 2019, which was 46 million. And the good news is that we are currently trending about 2.2% over last year's numbers, which will put us at about 52 million by the end of this year. More good news that we're excited about. MIA is currently the second busiest airport in the entire United States for international passengers, and the 8th busiest airport in the United States for total passengers. Those same rankings, worldwide, we are the 14th busiest airport for total passengers and 24th busiest for international passengers. And we're also the 8th busiest airport for total aircraft operations. We're averaging about 1,100 flights a day, which makes MIA the 8th busiest airfield in the entire world. More good news for us and other news we're excited about. In terms of cargo, for the last 4 years, MIA has had the best 4 years of cargo in the history of our airport. We had 2.33 million tons in 2020 during the pandemic. We had 2.7 million tons in 2021. Last year, we finished with a little bit over 2.75 million tons, and we're on pace this year to hit 2.8 million tons. So that's 4 straight years of record-breaking cargo growth at MIA, and that is during a time when the rest of the world has seen an 8% decrease, plus or minus, in cargo demand. Our Latin American region has had a year-over-year increase in demand of 13%. So that is great news for us. As the cargo gateway of the Americas, our sustained growth in 2020 is a direct result of the region's resiliency and of our partnerships with our airports in Latin America. As I mentioned, we're on pace to set a new annual record in cargo of 2.8 million tons. And our cargo rankings reflect that growth and that great news. MIA is currently the #1 airport in the United States for international freight, the #3 airport in the United States for total freight, and the #3 airport in the United States for total cargo, which is freight and mail. Those same rankings internationally, MIA is currently 7th airport in the world for international freight, the #7 airport in the world for total freight, and the #7 airport in the world for total cargo, freight and mail. So we are one of the premier airports in the world, not only in passengers, but also in cargo. Something we're very excited about, and something that is a direct reflection of the partnership and the resilience of our local Latin American region and our partnerships with local airports in the region. 9 of MIA's 10 trade partners in 2022 of the highest trade partners were with Latin American and Caribbean companies, another testament to how strong the region is and to our partnership in the region. So clearly, our success as an airport and as a leading economic engine, not only for Miami-Dade County, but for the state of Florida, would not be possible without the connections that we share with your airports, all the airports in the region, and we're very, very grateful for your partnership. Thank you. President of ACI Live, Ezequiel Berenechea. Ezequiel.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you. Bueno, yo no quiero repetir lo que fuimos diciendo abajo en la inauguración. Les doy la bienvenida nuevamente. Creo que es importantísimo el apoyo del sector por parte de la prensa y los medios. Como ustedes ven, cada vez somos más. Hoy hemos batido el récord histórico en Miami de participantes y estamos aparte en el año 2023 con un récord de socios y aeropuertos miembros. Ya llegamos a 350 aeropuertos en Latinoamérica y Caribe y vamos a superar, ya hemos superado, vamos a llegar a los 750 millones de pasajeros el próximo año. Nuevamente bienvenidos, lo dejo a Rafael, que es el que tiene la información detallada y precisa para brindarles.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. Shall I do it in English or in Spanish? In English, and then we can have questions in Spanish. You want? So yes, thank you very much for being here today. We, as chairman of the board was saying, not only the record in terms of participation in this event, which is our annual event for ACI LAC, the International Airports Association, but also we keep the number of members in ACI LAC, and we have now 365 airports from the Latin American and Caribbean region, including, by the way, Miami, which is also a member of ACI LAC. These events are very important because, of course, this is a great opportunity to exchange views about the industry and to share with our members these big figures because it helps them, plan ahead in the development of their infrastructures. We were actually making a big effort in my presentation, at least, to point out the need to develop infrastructure. The fact that actually about $24 billion has been spent in Latin America and the Caribbean in infrastructure. And it's very important that the governments actually facilitate this development because of the fact that these are not just passengers for the benefit of the airlines and the airports, but actually these passengers bringing jobs and GDP growth in the regions. This year actually is the first year when Latin America and the Caribbean have already exceeded the levels of traffic for 2019. It is actually, as a matter of fact, the first region in the world to already surpass 2019 levels. We shall reach approximately 708 million passengers this year, and that represents 3% of 2019. Next year is coming actually quite strong, a lot of demand, a lot of new capacity from the airlines, and we expect next year to reach 759 million passengers approximately. That's 7% growth on this current year. We mainly focus in ACI to ensure that our members can actually undertake these developments, support them in front of the governments and international organizations. We actually are focusing very much on the need to introduce technologies to ensure that the airports are provide a pleasant experience to the passengers. And of course, I also pointed out in the conference, not only to do that, which is by itself very important, but also to ensure that infrastructure is used in the most efficient manner. We also are working very much towards ensuring that all the airports in Latin America operate at the highest international standards. And finally, also I would point out that Latin American and Caribbean airports are demonstrating their commitment to the environment by actively participating in a program called Airport Carbon Accreditation, which is actually the only program in the world where airports actually work intensely to reduce carbon emissions. And for a while, actually, we were the second region in the world in terms of participation in that very important program. So that's basically in a nutshell what we actually discussed in the presentation. I will make ourselves available to any questions you may have. But before that, I will pass on the floor to my colleague, Mr. Oliver.
Buenos dias, good morning. As I mentioned before, very happy to be here and very happy to share good news with you as well. It's important to show that we are very close to globally recover the numbers of 2019. As we speak, we already reached the domestic markets, the same level of the numbers of 2019, and we expect that in 2024 we hit the total numbers of the industry the same levels of 2019. As I mentioned, 2020 was the worst year in the history of the aviation sector. We lost 20 years of development in one. We lost more than half of the global passengers. However, as a resilient industry, we are looking forward to continue to grow and we probably will double the size in the next 20 years. Latin America is a very good example. You know what you're seeing here, especially in Miami, in the region of Latin America, is a great growth. Consider, of course, that is the regions of the world that will grow more. Latin America, Asia Pacific, Africa are the regions that will really go to the development, and the support from the governments to reach these objectives are very important, together with the investments that we need to do, the investments on the sustainability, the investments in technology, and the workforce, and also how we can finance that as well for the future. So very bright future ahead. Aviation sector brings economic and potential growth for the countries, economic and social development for the people that we serve, and I think an airport is a key for any kind of sustainable development of the region and sustainable development of the world. As you know, many countries in the world, they have ports, they have airports, they have highways, but all the airports in the world, all the countries in the world, they have an airport, because an airport is a key element of connectivity, is a key element of the social and economic development. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We now open to questions. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Okay, so, thank you.
¿Puedo preguntar en español?
Sí.
Hicieron hincapié mucho en la experiencia del pasajero y dijeron especialmente que el gran desafío son los tiempos, ¿no? Y poder acelerar esos tiempos. Por un lado quería preguntarles qué otro desafío hay más allá de ese con respecto a la experiencia del pasajero. Y por otro lado, si pueden dar algún ejemplo de algún aeropuerto en algún país donde esto se haya solucionado, que pueda servir de ejemplo que podría replicarse en otras partes del mundo. Gracias.
Okay. Bueno, sí, adelante.
Mira, principalmente la experiencia del pasajero respecto a los tiempos que nosotros nos referimos, y lo voy a poner figurativamente. Vos llegás como pasajero a un aeropuerto, por más que el aeropuerto realmente tenga la infraestructura más moderna del mundo, los mejores diseños y todo el confort que tienen normalmente los aeropuertos actuales, vos te vas a encontrar con que vas a hacer una fila de espera importante para hacer el prechequeo de las valijas, para chequear tus valijas, a veces hasta 30, 40 minutos se puede juntar gente ahí. Eso no es fácil de resolver, pero hay que trabajar, las líneas aéreas tienen que trabajarlo. Después vas a pasar a un sector de seguridad, donde vas a hacer otros 30 minutos fácil de espera y sacarte prácticamente la mitad de la ropa. Y después vas a pasar al sector de migraciones, donde nuevamente vas a encontrarte con una cantidad enorme de gente. Estoy exagerando, ¿no es cierto? Pero realmente eso pasa. Yo viajo todas las semanas y pasa muy seguido. Y ves personas de todo tipo, de todas edades y de todas las condiciones, esperando horas y horas y horas. Y eso te va a llevar fácil 2 horas de tu experiencia de pasajero que la perdiste haciendo una fila. Ni hablar si haces una conexión en algún aeropuerto que tiene el filtro de seguridad y que si te llegan 2 vuelos seguidos te vas a quedar 40 minutos más para desvestirte nuevamente. Y cuando llegás al país donde vos vas, seguramente tengas nuevamente el problema de migraciones y en algunos países, peor todavía, el problema de aduana. Entonces, imagínate la cantidad de horas que se pierden. Lamentablemente son cuestiones muy difíciles de resolver, muchas están vinculadas a los gobiernos, son los gobiernos los que tienen que aceptar e incluir las nuevas tecnologías en sus sistemas. Nosotros, como aeropuertos, todos los días estamos llevándole a los gobiernos propuestas y trabajando para mejorarlo. Lo mismo lo hacemos junto con las líneas aéreas. No es fácil, yo no estoy culpando a los gobiernos, no es fácil. La actividad pública requiere recursos, requiere cambios, los sistemas son viejos, cambiar el sistema, por ejemplo, de migraciones de un aeropuerto, de un país, es complicadísimo, pero bueno, vamos en ese camino. Si no, todo lo que hagamos como Passenger Experience, y aunque te demos el mejor café del mundo, vos lo vas a sufrir mucho más cuando llegas al aeropuerto.
Is it okay in English?
Yes.
Okay, so at MIA, we have had a focus over the last couple of years on passenger experience, customer experience. So we basically mapped out our entire terminal from the time a passenger gets off his aircraft to the time he leaves the airport. So we currently have modernization programs for each and every one of those touch points for our passenger. Loading bridges, we're replacing all of our loading bridges. We have 126 under inventory. We've already replaced 32 with the latest design loading bridge. Moving forward, all of our loading bridges are going to be glass. We already have 2. We're buying another 10, and we'll have another 61 in the next 4 to 5 years. First step in the passenger experience. The next step is bathrooms. We're renovating all 447 bathrooms in our terminal. We have an active program in place right now where we are renovating. We've completed 33 of them. We have another 40 or 50 in various stages of construction, and another 141 that will be in design in the next couple of months. That addresses more than half of our restrooms, and then we'll have the rest in the next phase. So we're renovating that. The next step that passengers usually take is going through our elevators, escalator, our conveyance systems. We have very old systems at Miami International Airport, and we have a contract that was recently awarded. We're starting to address that, modernize our units, etc. That's on the passenger path of travel. When it comes to throughput and checkpoints, we're working very closely with TSA, buying new CT scanning equipment that will increase throughput through our checkpoints to increase them. I think our checkpoints overall, we won an award a couple of weeks ago. We're the 10th best airport in the United States as far as wait times at checkpoints, but we can always do better. So we're buying new CT scanning machines, investing money in that. We also have a project currently for biometric boarding, which is we're currently engaged in, which we hope to have done by middle of next year, which will again increase passenger throughput to our checkpoints. As I mentioned, if you can save 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes for every passenger, multiply that by the 50.7 million passengers that we had last year, that's a significant improvement at our checkpoints. Our number one focus is always number one, safety and security for our passengers. But right behind number 1A is passenger experience. And we are actively addressing all of those points, at least at MIA, through the passenger path of travel.
Muchas gracias. La pregunta es muy importante porque siempre cuando hablamos de la industria, hablamos de aerolíneas de aeropuertos. Y la industria son aerolíneas de aeropuertos porque no hay un aeropuerto sin una aerolínea, no hay aerolínea sin un aeropuerto, pero no hay industria sin el pasajero. Entonces, trabajar en la mejoría del servicio que entregamos a nuestros clientes es muy importante. Es fundamental destacar, como ya muy bien comentado por Ezequiel y también por Ralph, que un aeropuerto es un ecosistema. Nosotros tenemos en algunos casos, grandes aeropuertos, más de 100 entidades que trabajan dentro de un aeropuerto. Y si una entidad no trabaja bien, tenemos un efecto dominó que va a generar que esa experiencia del pasajero no es bien. Entonces, primero, tenemos que mejorar y estamos mejorando mucho en términos de cómo trabajar en conjunto cómo utilizar la tecnología para nos ayudar a tener una mejora continua de los procesos, ¿no? A implementación de tecnología por los gobiernos, por los aeropuertos es muy importante, pero el más importante es entender dónde están los problemas. Entonces, por eso creamos a más de 15 años un programa llamado ASQ, que es Airport Service Quality, donde entonces tú tienes un X-ray de todo lo que pasa dentro del aeropuerto, donde son los touch points que realmente tienen problemas y cómo incrementarlos, ¿no? Y ese programa ayuda a los aeropuertos a trabajar mejor, a encontrar dónde están los problemas, para entonces mejorar esta experiencia del pasajero, que para nosotros es muy importante, porque está muy interligada al revenue, a las ganancias que tiene un aeropuerto, porque un pasajero que está contento en su experiencia, él tiende a gastar más, él tiende a estar más tiempo dentro de nuestros terminales, utilizar los servicios de comida, de duty free y otros, y eso genera con que para nuestra estabilidad financiera es un tema muy importante también. Entonces, todos los procesos de cómo mejoramos eso son, digamos, a nivel global. Temos uma experiência de passageiro, uma melhora contínua nos processos, e estamos muito contentes de mais de 420 membros de los aeropuertos do mundo, que representam, em termos de número de passageiros, mais ou menos 50% dos passageiros globais que estão em aeropuertos, que participam de um programa de melhoria contínua nos processos. Então, dois exemplos que me gusta sempre comentar: Singapur, fenomenal a experiência de quem vai a Singapur, de tu não utilizar mais tu passaporte, tu vas com tu face recognition, going through the process, entra en un sistema donde tiene un aeropuerto exuberante, limpio y organizado, donde entonces te estimula a aprovechar más ese ambiente. Y un ejemplo en Latinoamérica, puede ser citar Uruguay, por ejemplo, que es un buen ejemplo en términos de mejoría continua de los procesos y también cómo aprovechar mejor. Hay muchos otros, ¿no? Entonces, prácticamente sería una continua, digamos, mencionar diversos aeropuertos, pero básicamente son dos aeropuertos que me vienen más rápido a la cabeza y son súper desarrollados en términos de apoyo del sistema de mejoría continua de los procesos.
Muy rápidamente, para añadir a lo que han dicho, es importante también pensar que los aeropuertos tenemos un programa dentro del ISIAI para ayudar a los pasajeros con discapacidad. Eso es un área que no se le prestaba la atención que se le decía, pero ahora ya se está prestando mucha atención. Tenemos un programa, no me acuerdo exactamente cómo se llama. Bueno, pero vamos, a lo que voy a decir que un ejemplo de un aeropuerto que está muy comprometido con los pasajeros con discapacidad es, de hecho, el aeropuerto también de Montevideo. Montevideo realmente está.
Yeah, thank you very much. We were in the wrong to leave the press conference. And if you have any other questions, if not, we will end the press conference. And if you have, as I said, if you have any questions, back in the table, you have a QR code. There you have all the information set here and our emails. So you can send it to us and we will. Thank you very much for being here.
¿Puedo cerrar? Me voy con ellos. Me avisan, ciérralo cuando tengas que cerrarlo. Me avisan.
No, lo voy a cerrar ya para que se quede la grabación.